So what really holds a family together? I mean, is it just about blood? Or is there something deeper, a real connection of the heart? We're about to dive into that very question by weaving two really powerful stories into one. It's a story about sacrifice, about betrayal, and about the amazing, unexpected places we find the people who become our true family.
All right, let's get right into it. Our story starts with two women, Karuna and Lakshmi. Now, they live in different villages, and they're facing their own unique challenges, but they are absolutely connected by one powerful, shared feeling, a deep, aching loneliness. So first up, let's meet Karuna. She's in the village of Palampur. She's a widow, and she poured every single bit of herself into raising her kids, selling momos from this tiny little cart just to get by. Then, over in the village of Rajpur, you've got Lakshmi, this warm, friendly woman who sells roasted corn. Even though they've walked different paths, both of these women have found themselves in their later years feeling completely and totally alone.
And here's the part about Karuna's story it's absolutely heartbreaking. Think about it. She used every last penny she had to get her children an education, dreaming that they'd have a better life. And, maybe they'd be there for her when she got old. But what happened? The second they made it in the big city, they built their own lives and forgot about her. The calls stopped, the visits dried up, and Karuna was just left behind with her memories and her little momo stand.
Now, Lakshmi's loneliness, it comes from a different kind of loss. Her entire world, her whole heart really was wrapped up in this young neighborhood boy named Raju. He wasn't her blood grandson, not at all, but he was family in every single way that mattered. He was the one who'd help her out, run to get lemons for her corn stall. He just filled her days with so much joy. So you can only imagine the huge empty hole she felt when his family had to pack up and move to the city.
So with both women at their absolute lowest point, thinking they are completely alone in the world, this is where their stories take a turn towards the incredible. Help arrives, but it comes from the most unexpected places you could possibly imagine. Karuna is just pushed to her limit. Her business is failing, her heart is just shattered, and she goes to the temple. She prays to the god Ganesh, and her prayer it's one of pure desperation. She says, "O Lord, please have mercy on this unfortunate soul. O Prabhu, have mercy."
And you won't believe it, but her prayer is answered, like almost instantly. Two twin boys seem to just appear out of nowhere. Turns out, they're divine messengers sent by Ganesh. They start helping her make momos, and one night, Karuna peeks and sees them using these magical powers to create the most amazing momos anyone's ever tasted. Her tiny little stall becomes a local sensation. And before she knows it, she's not just out of debt, she's actually wealthy.
Okay, now let's jump back to Lakshmi. Her miracle doesn't show up in some flash of divine light. Oh no. Hers is a story of quiet, steady patience. A full 15 years go by. I mean, can you imagine that? 15 years of selling corn, of looking at that little bag of lemons and remembering the boy she loved so much, just holding on to his childhood promise that one day he'd come back.
And then one day, it happens. She's at her stall. She's forgotten her lemons, again, when this tall, handsome young man walks up to her, and he's holding her bag of lemons, and he says, "Lakshmi Bua, you forgot your bag again. It's Raju. He's home."
Okay, so this right here. This is the major turning point. Both women have gotten their miracle, but now comes the real test, the very nature of their relationships. One that's bound by blood and the other one bound by the heart is about to be tested in the biggest way possible. You know how it is. News of Karuna's good fortune travels fast. And guess who just happens to show up at her door? Her son Sudhir with his wife Meera. He's got this whole story about how sorry he is, how much he's missed her. But let's be real, it isn't love that brought him back. It's pure, simple greed. And this quote just lays it all bare. That night, Sudhir's wife, Meera, whispers to him, "Quickly, get all of this old woman's money from the safe and let's get out of here." The mask is completely off. This isn't a family reunion, it's a heist. Now, just contrast that ugliness with this. Raju, having found his beloved Lakshmi, pleads with her, and he says, "It's time to live with your grandson now, Lakshmi Bua." I mean, the difference is just night and day. One relationship wants to take everything, the other just wants to give. And so that's exactly what Sudhir and Meera do. They break into Karuna's safe, they stuff a bag full of all her money, and they just run away in the middle of the night. They betray their own mother all over again. So once they're far away from the village, they stop to celebrate, count their stolen cash. Sudhir rips open the bag to look at all the money, but it's gone.
Thanks to the magic of those divine helpers, every single banknote has turned into nothing but a pile of worthless gray ash.
The twin boys then appear, and they explain what happened. This, they tell him, is karma, that universal law of cause and effect. They look right at Sudhir and they say, this is the fruit of your actions. His greed, his betrayal, it has all literally just turned to dust.
And that brings us to our final act, where we get to see how these two different paths finally end, and it reveals this one powerful, incredible truth about what it really means to be a family.
So, humbled and with nothing, Sudhir and Meera go back to Karuna and they beg her to forgive them. And in her amazing grace, she does. With their job done, the divine helpers leave. Meanwhile, Raju convinces Lakshmi to leave her village behind and come live with him. She moves to the city and, finally, for the first time, she gets to feel the joy of being looked after by a loving, devoted family.
So, at the end of all this, we're left with the big question, aren't we? After seeing both of these stories play out, which connection really proves to be priceless? The one you're just born into, or the one you build, heart to heart?
And in the end, I think the stories leave us with this one beautiful, profound truth. Kuch rishte khoon ke nahi hote, kuch rishte dil se jude hote hain. Some relationships are not of blood, some are connected by the heart, and maybe, just maybe, those are the ones that are the most precious of all.